Well, Matthew Bryza is the former Deputy US Assistant Secretary of State for Europe and Eurasia. He joins us live from Istanbul. Welcome to the London News Hour. I do want to ask you about the 21-point plan that Donald Trump has announced on Gaza, but I just want to get from you the significance of the momentum we're seeing right now regarding international pressure on Israel.
Yeah, Maria, great to see you again. Great to be with you. There is intense pressure because, well, part of the element of the 21-point plan that President Trump outlined, which is a phased withdrawal of Israel from Gaza. He hasn't said that before. And that's enormous pressure because, you know, the United States, I mean, if the United States doesn't provide military or economic assistance to Israel, there's really no way Netanyahu can continue the war on the Palestinians. So this feels like a lot of momentum, just as you asked.
And of course, there is that meeting on Monday, I believe, between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. How much of what is in this 21-point plan, I do want to ask you about the specifics because we don't have the details. How much of what we're seeing, how much will that change when those two leaders, Trump and Netanyahu, actually meet face to face?
Yeah, and fair enough. I mean, 21 points are a lot of points. I mean, Woodrow Wilson's plan to end the war to end all wars, World War I, was only 14 points. So this is 50% more points. I think Netanyahu is going to hate this. I mean, there's stuff in this for Israel, right? That Hamas cannot have any role in the governance of Gaza in the future. The Palestinian Authority will have some role. Probably Netanyahu doesn't want that either because he wants to, as he said, at least threaten to annex the West Bank to Israel. And, you know, he really doesn't like the phased withdrawal idea. But it gives him a way to escape from what is clearly a dead end. I mean, it's impossible that Israel will ever defeat the thinking of Hamas, even though it has destroyed Hamas's ability to wage war. And you know, I hope eventually Netanyahu will see he has no way but to accept the basic principles of this 21-point plan because his indispensable benefactor, the United States, is saying this is the only way forward. So, you know, Prime Minister Netanyahu will face a very difficult moment, I think, on Monday if President Trump remains steadfast in sticking with this 21-point plan.
Indeed. And are you confident regarding the words that we heard from Steve Witkoff, who said we're hopeful, I might even say confident that in the coming days we'll be able to announce some sort of breakthrough? What could that be, Matthew, when Israel bombed the negotiators in Doha? Like, where does this breakthrough come from? Is it from the US, as you said, to stop providing that the help that it does, the arms, the money?
Maria, that's a deeply thoughtful question, and it really depends on how hard President Trump is going to push and whether he maintains his focus. Which, you know, let's be frank. I mean, he often, you know, is driven by the last person who's in the room with him. And Steve Witkoff, I mean, he has made similar optimistic assessments of peace being around the corner repeatedly. I mean, in the case of Ukraine, you know, when President Trump met President Putin in Alaska, a couple of days after, Representative Witkoff gave a remarkable interview on CNN in which he said, I think the Russian side and President Putin have agreed to an Article 5 type, whatever that means, Article 5 type guarantee of Ukraine's security. That is utterly impossible. Russia will never agree to any NATO-type security guarantee for Ukraine. So I think Envoy Witkoff heard something he wanted to hear that wasn't actually said by the Russians. And I really hope that that isn't the case this time when Mr. Witkoff talks about an imminent breakthrough. But I will say that a 21-point plan must be substantive. This is not sort of a knee-jerk, off-the-cuff, undefined concept. Clearly, there are a lot of ideas that have been thought through and maybe some sort of intellectual process that have gotten President Trump to this point. And that's good. That gives me hope, regardless of whatever expressions of hope Mr. Witkoff himself has expressed.
Matthew, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you here on TRT World. Thank you, Matthew Bryza.